This. Okay, am I perfectly audible for everyone?
Yeah.
Okay, so hello everyone. I'm Seher Beiti. This is my project for ASAS, and my project focuses on body image specifically. So, what exactly is my project? My project is based on mental health and body image, and also sometimes emphasis on eating disorders. My project is an awareness project. I will talk to you about mental health and also healthy body image. So first, these are my reasons why I started this project. First first are pretty statistics. First, up to 80% of women report feeling heavily insecure about their bodies, particularly at their stomach, and even until adulthood. Um, Almost 80% of girls and 90% of guys have expressed insecurity for their appearance throughout their childhood. And then only 30 and 40% of these people actually receive support for their mental health problems, which is my reason why of coming to you today and talking about this issue. So first, what is exactly body image? Well, body image is a relationship you have with your own body and the thoughts you have about it, the feelings it triggers, and how they actually affect your behavior. Most of the time, they have nothing to do with actually how you appear, but it is more on the thoughts that you form about yourself, and eventually it leads to your own actions. These are some factors on body image. There's perpetual, cognitive, affective, and behavioral. Perpetual means how you see yourself and how you see your own body. Sometimes based on your insecurity, the way you view yourself changes. Cognitively is how you think about yourself and how which eventually affects your how you see yourself. Then affective is what you exactly feel. Whether you feel positive or whether you feel negative, it depends on the affective factor. And then behavioral is what you do after all of the other factors. Like example, whether you're not going to the beach, whether you're not eating certain foods, whether you exercise more or less, that's how behavioral affects your body image factor. Okay. So far, do we understand or should I continue?
अ, आप लोग सबको समझ में आ रहा है? हम लोग कंटिन्यू कर सकते हैं। ओके।
Okay.
Yes.
So, how does it exactly affect mental health? First, with depression and anxiety, both of them are mental health disorders and mental health problems that may come up as well as people grow. When you have persistent dissatisfaction or unhappiness with how you look, it can trigger social anxiety and affect your perception, how you see yourself. Like how I mentioned earlier, some people may not to the beach or may not eat certain food or may not eat in front of other people, depending if they have the level of dissatisfaction they have. Later, this can also develop into restriction, as I said, by having maybe having medicine for your weight or fasting, extreme restriction of what you eat, or extreme exercise. And then lastly, there's isolation. Um, there's how you feel embarrassed, anxious, or even ashamed of how you look, the activities you do, or how you appear to the general public. Is this like understood?
Yes.
Okay. So where exactly do these kind of ideas come from? So there's external and internal factors. There's such as social media, what we see online, the filters, and what kind of media is posted that may affect how we see beauty standards or how we appear to ourselves. So certain social media posts on Facebook, Instagram, etc., they may lead you to think how you may look in a certain way is not the effect, and there's no such thing as that. Then there's also life changes in puberty. Um, as you grow, there is sometimes you may feel insecure, which is part of puberty and hormones, especially with women, which is one simple factor. And then there's also mental health and personality that that may be having you more likely to have these certain thoughts. And then lastly, there's comments from your family, friends, and peers that may affect how you view yourself. Um, Moving forward. Oh, so after all that, there is chances to have negative self-talk. Negative self-talk can impact you, well, negatively, but there's four major ways how it can do that. First, with your self-doubt and low confidence, the way you talk about yourself, your brain can actually, even as a joke, um, your brain can actually get tricked and it can actually believe that. The more you say it, the more stronger the belief becomes. So this will eventually lower your self-esteem and it'll also make you more less likely to pursue new opportunities. Secondly, um, it can also hamper your productivity. Thinking how you're not perfect or self-criticism can actually kill your motivation to actually keep trying for also future opportunities. Thirdly, as I said before, these kind of thoughts can also trigger your nervous system and can also cause sick, it can cause you to have unnecessary tension, headaches, body fatigue, stress, and anxiety. Lastly, it may, lastly, when you continue to talk negatively about yourself and you feel emotionally insecure, this kind of insecurity can also damage your relationship with others. Um, is this understood?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so this is a poster I made for reframing your thoughts. So instead of saying how you hate certain parts of yourself, or how you look today, or what you need, or if you need to fix yourself, you can try saying more positive kind of talk that can actually help you and can actually help you move forward and be healthier the way you choose to. To properly understand what I'm saying, I found a nice video that can explain better. Just let me know if you can hear the audio. Is it audible?
No, please, it is not audible.
Ma'am?
It's not audible.
I can't believe this. I can't do
Yes,
It's
anything right.
audible now.
It's audible?
now it's audible, please. Yes.
No.
Seher, I think you can try stopping presentation, and then when you try to present again, you can turn on audio from your device.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Hold on, sorry. Let me know if you can hear it now.
Yes.
Okay.
I can't believe this. I can't do anything right.
The car needs new brakes. This is gonna cost so much. This is why I never get ahead.
I can never find anyone I want to go on a date with. I'll be single forever.
I should have gone to the gym today. I always make excuses.
Conversations in our minds are called self-talk. These internal dialogues can shape your beliefs and influence emotions and behavior. Repeated self-talk can eventually become what a person considers facts, even on a subconscious level. Positive self-talk reflects internal thoughts that provide you with assurance and motivation. You can use positive self-talk as a way to guide your decisions and tackle everyday challenges. Negative thinking, on the other hand, can detract from or distort your positive outlook. Negative thinking can lead to stress, let's explore more about negative thinking. Some common patterns of negative thinking include personalizing and filtering. Personalizing is when you see yourself as the cause of all the bad things in your life. Filtering is when you focus on negative information and ignore positive information. These patterns of negative thinking often leave people feeling helpless. But with practice, people can continue to create more rational and positive thought patterns. One step in the process of focusing on positive self-talk rather than negative thinking is to check your thoughts. Whenever you recognize that you're thinking negatively, take a step back and consider how to reword things in a gentler or more positive way. Instead of saying, "I'm always late to everything, I'm so disorganized," say, "If I start using reminders and alerts regularly, I could really make my day run smoother." Positive self-talk is not self-deception. It is a way to find something positive when facing the ups and downs of each day. Some other ways to shift your thinking include surrounding yourself with positive people, exercising, and eating a healthy diet as directed by your physician. It is also important to be aware of situations, environments, and triggers that cause you to fall back on negative thinking. Whenever the opportunity arises, try to find humor to ease the tension. By training your self-talk to be more positive, you will be able to manage stress more effectively. You may also experience less stress and an increase in motivation and self-confidence. It takes time, practice, and patience to train yourself to be effective in using positive self-talk. But when successful, it keeps your mindset balanced.
Okay, is there any questions so far? Okay, I'm assuming no. I'll just go forward. So these are some examples of emotional relief coping mechanisms. There's music, taking a shower, yoga, exercise, playing games, creating to-do lists, or asking for emotional help from your friends, family, etc. that can help you with anxiety, insecurities, or any future problems. And then lastly, there's a short activity that I planned. So if everyone has paper and a pencil with them, if they could, like draw a small like circle that represents them, and with that they can talk about. They don't need to share this, but you can talk about things that you appreciate about your own self or your body. An example right here is like my legs carry me to places I love. My hands let me create things, etc. Is this activity possible to do right now? This could be done later also. Hello?
आप लोगों के पास पेन या पेपर है? ये एक्टिविटी अभी करना चाहेंगे आप लोग कि बाद में आप लोग ट्राई कर लेंगे? Seher, I think we can continue because we don't have time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, well, that's kind of basically what I had planned. Thank you everyone for listening to what I had to share. I hope any of the information I said stuck with you. And thank you. Um, okay.
Does anyone have any questions? If not, then we can move on to the next presentation. Anushka, would you like to present? Okay, Sanya, do you have a question?
I wanted to answer that question, please.
Okay.
So, So actually, I am very underweight. So there is not a single person who have never talk about like how slim you are, don't you eat anything or something like that. But some of my friends are there who uh like share positive thoughts about it. Like they tell me that you look beautiful as you are. Many people wish to be look slim, and yes, so it gives me strength to go ahead with this. So yes, please. Thank you.
Um, Wait, could you repeat like your question? Sorry.
No, she was answering. She was
Oh,
just, yeah.
oh, okay. Okay, I think that's very nice for you to share, Asanya. That was very nice. And I think that's really very powerful thing to say.
Does anyone have any other questions or would like to share something? Okay, then Anushka, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you can share screen.
Okay. Am I presenting?
Yeah.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Anushka Siraj. I'm studying in the 11th grade in Hyderabad, and I am a student in commerce, and that actually influences my presentation today. So, my presentation is about reading money around you and how prices, choices, and money really works. So, without further ado, let's begin. So, why does money feel different now than it did before? Why does a 100 rupee note not last like before? Why do groceries keep getting more expensive? Why does the same product cost different? So you might wonder that how did our parents survive with just rupees 100 um when they were our age, and how come we have to have at least 500 to spend as much as they would with their 100 if we were of their time. So I'd like to explain this with this core idea, which is money itself doesn't change, the system around it does. So let's understand this with a little game. Can anybody volunteer? It's a simple game of 3 rounds where you'll have to survive with 500. It Anybody? Danish?
Yes, I would like to.
Okay. So you need to spend your 500 and in round one wisely. So you have to be able to afford a cab to and from school, buy lunch, and get groceries for dinner. So
I
how
have
much?
to pick only one among
No,
this.
you can spend as much as you want.
Okay.
So how much are you left with?
Sorry, can you repeat again?
How much money did you spend?
Including all three, it's 350.
Okay, so you're saving how much?
I'm saving 150.
All right. So we move on to round two. And the conditions have changed. The cab fares have increased, petrol prices also increased, and so did the food prices rise. So now you have to spend for the same three things again.
Okay. Uh, it will be 550 now.
Right. So you couldn't spend, you had to go over, right?
Over 50 rupees more.
Yeah. So the round three, which is the final round, is a little different. You have to make choices between two different options. So for lunch, you can either make it home for 80 rupees or you can order in from Swiggy, Zomato for 220 rupees. So which one do you choose?
I'll choose make at home 80 rupees.
Okay. And you need to buy new shoes. So do you get it from a local store or do you trust a brand which is pretty popular and it's selling for 380?
I'll go with the local store only just to save more.
Okay, good choice. So now you have to renew your Spotify subscription. So a normal subscription is giving you ads with the 100 rupees and an ad-free one's giving 200.
I'll go with the ads only, so it's like 100 rupees only.
All right. So based on your choices, I have categorized you from impulsive spender to a smart saver. So Danish, you were a smart saver. Thank you for participating.
You're most welcome.
So we move on to the next idea, which is three invisible forces of spending. So there are inflation, pricing differences, and consumption pressure. So let's understand these. So first up is inflation, which is the general increase in price and fall in the purchase power of money. So a very easy way to understand inflation is when prices of the same product increase because of external factors like petrol here. The recent war with Iran and USA, it has impacted the petrol prices, and it happens with groceries as well and your normal products. And the prices just keep increasing for the same product and the same amount. So that is inflation. Next up is pricing differences. So let's start with location-based pricing. So you may go to a movie theater and they wouldn't allow you to bring your own chips and popcorn because they want you to spend at theirs, which is a way higher price. And that is because they're trying to benefit. And local store versus a branded outlet. So if you go and get coffee from like the filter store down at the street, they'll give it to you for a lot lesser price. But then if you go to a branded store like Starbucks, for example, or Cafe Coffee Day, they'll give you a lot better quality, and that is what you're paying more for. And then there's small shops and supermarkets. So supermarkets, they have more rent and profit to pay for, and small businesses, their prices are also just increasing. So that is the pricing differences. Next, the last one is consumption pressure. So an easy way to understand this is when you're passing by a store and you see that something's for 50% off and you go and buy it. But the thing is, you never intended to buy anything in the first place. But your decision was influenced by the great deal and societal pressure. So this is why we keep spending. Your daily habits and the convenience of like Blinkit, where you just pay online and then you don't feel the cash slipping through your hands, and branding and trust. So we can move on to the next section, which is about real life money spending decisions. We have an activity again, which is my last 24 hours of spending. So would anybody else like to volunteer? Hi, Jasmine.
Hello.
So could you tell me one thing that you spent on in the last 24 hours? It can be anything, like a cup of tea, a pair of socks.
Basically, I did not spend anything.
Okay, do you know,
I didn't spend it.
like your parents, anybody in your house, did they order anything that you know of?
Uh, Last night they went for they went market and eat fast food.
Okay. So, what do you think influenced their decision? Why do you think they did it?
Because they have the craving for that.
Yeah. So now, if you see my screen, there is two sections. So there's a need and a want. So I want you to classify that decision if it was a need or if they wanted to. A need is something essential, maybe like a resource, and a want is something you just desire.
That is- Can you please repeat it?
So you need
Hello.
to
Could
classify,
you please repeat it?
sorry?
Could you please repeat it?
So a need is something that is essential, which is like
Yes.
something you cannot avoid. And a want is something you don't exactly require, but you desire it. So what do you
Yes.
think going out to eat fast food is?
It's a want.
Yeah. So was it like something that could have been avoided or something you can't avoid?
Can be avoided.
So that comes under the second section, which is a flexible expense. If it couldn't have been avoided, like school fees or rent, it would have been fixed expense. Thanks for participating. So we move on to
Okay.
a different game. Does anybody else want to volunteer? Okay, I have two hands. Dildar, sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. Do you want to go?
Yes, please.
So, as I explained just now, a need is something essential, and a want is something that is not required, but it's a desire. So, I have 6 images on my screen right here. Can you tell me what this bike would be?
That bike is want.
Okay, what
Uh,
about your phone?
Apple phone is also want.
It could be a
Ticket.
normal phone.
Okay, then it is need. And if the
Okay,
bike is a normal bike, then it will be also need because it will help to traveling and all that.
all right. And a
So
Netflix subscription,
it is a need, and tickets are wants.
a bus ticket to travel, maybe to your school
Sorry,
and back. Would that be a
the
need or a want?
bus ticket is tough one.
Okay.
It is
Moving on
it is
to,
need. It is need. If
okay.
you don't,
What about medicines?
it is need.
Okay, and a PS5.
Want.
Okay.
Netflix also want.
So what we learn here is that it is not exactly understanding about what you're spending on, it is understanding your choices before spending. So we move on to section 4. So, the small economy on your street. Why is a chai stand selling for 10 rupees and the other side they're selling for 15? So, maybe the person who's selling for 15 has a bigger crowd, they have a good seating arrangement, and that's why they have more customers. So, they get more profit and they can pay off their rent better and they can provide better. And then there's customer traffic. Why do some shops always have customers? So it comes down to location and credit kata systems. So the location could be like if there's a cafe in front of your school, right after you're done, you can go to the cafe and eat something with your friends before going home. And then there's credit kata systems. So basically, a vendor can tell you that, okay, you can come back and pay me later. And that creates loyalty and trust with the customer, and the customer will come back and pay again. So moving on to shrinkflation. Um, this is quite the opposite of inflation, but Let's understand this with an example. So a chips packet is 10 rupees, the same price, but later on you notice that they give you the same chips for a smaller packet and lesser quantity, but the same price. And then chocolate bars, they quietly shrunk in size. Your cab, they'll be a lot more expensive when it's office hours or if it's raining. And all of this has been seen with many famous brands as well. For example, Lay's and Dairy Milk, Quality Balls, ice creams, they're all faced complaints about shrinkflation. So what exactly it is that you pay for the product of the same price and they give you lesser quantity for what you were paying for before. So moving on to another activity. Mansi, I think your hand was raised. Yeah, so do you want to go?
Yes, please.
So you'll receive, I'll show you a few products, okay? And you'll have to choose between the two products and tell me what is the best value you can put for this. So here are the Lay's packets, and you can see that one of them was manufactured quite a while ago, but it is the same price and it is offering you a lot more quantity. And the other the barbecue one, it's giving you just 10 grams lesser, and it was made just 2 days ago, so it is much more fresh than the classic Lay's. So which one will you spend on?
So like for the flavor as well, and just because it's like it's fresh, I will choose the first one, barbecue flavored, please.
Okay, but are you sure you want to spend 20 rupees on lesser quantity?
So like it's 10-gram less, and it's more fresh. Maybe that's why I will choose the first one.
Okay. Now, your next option is between Amul and Vijay milk packets. So look at the conditions and tell me which one you will choose.
I will choose the second one.
Okay, why not Amul?
Uh, because like both are farm fresh, and yeah, it's well trusted, but like I am getting the second one for lesser price
Okay,
with the same
good decision.
quantity.
Thank you. So we move on to a conclusion. So prices change because the systems around, like, are the money you're paying and the system, it changes all the time. But it's not always because money itself is changing. There's always external factors such as the ones I explained. Our choices are influenced. Our spending is rarely random. We should always plan our savings and our spendings, and we shouldn't let something such as societal pressures influence our decisions. And the key conclusion is that knowledge is power. Understanding how money works in your life and the way you spend your own money is key. I have a little activity for what you can do after the session. So one is that you can observe one product or food item and ask your family if its price has changed in the recent years. And then you can try to figure out why it happened. And then the second one is for one day, you should track your spendings and you should see why you were spending on what and what influenced your decision. And I'd like to end with this quote, which is good money decisions aren't about spending, they're about understanding your choices before spending. Sometimes the product isn't the problem, it's how easily wants become habits. Thank you. Are there any questions? Or anything anybody wants to share? Yes, Sanya?
So I know that one product is like the Parle-G biscuit. Because of the shrinkflation, I guess the quantity is getting less and the price is same. Like for 5 rupees, we are getting less biscuits in one
Mm-hmm.
packet. So I have that
Yeah.
example. I will that.
Shrinkflation is actually most common with these biscuit brands. Um, you might be surprised, but recently, about a few weeks ago, even Oreos did this. And so that's a good fun fact for you. If there's anything else. Yeah, Dildar?
Can you please explain me the consumption pressure?
So consumption pressure, it's basically when you are influenced by some external factor, like I explained, where you didn't intend on spending, but then you ended up spending anyways because you found a great deal. And it's not always a conscious choice. There's always hidden pressures that drive our money out of our pockets. Um, and it's more like of a opportunity cost, choosing more expensive options because we recognize the logo, or just daily unnecessary spending because we wanted something. That is consumption pressure.
Thank you.
Mansi?
So like I just have a situation where I have saved money for whole 1 week or month for something I wanted to eat,
Mhm.
outside food I would say, and for go out. So like, will it come under want or need, please?
Sorry, what are you spending on?
I have saved I have saved money like from my spendings, needs I would say, from my needs, and I have saved that money for to go out and eat, like, yes. And like, so this amount or this spending I have spent, it will come under need or a want?
It'll still be a want because you could have ate at home. But it is a good example of planned spending instead of impulsive because you did save up and you did plan on it and you went through with your plan. So it is a very good habit.
Thank you.
Yeah. If there's anything else. Okay, thank you.
So if there's no other questions, we can start with the next presentation. Akshaj, are you there?
Ma'am, didn't you say I was going last?
Yeah, but Howell will not be doing his presentation today. So if you're ready, you can start. Otherwise, if you'll take time, I'll take a survey for 5-10 minutes and then you can start.
Okay, I think we'll do the survey first.
Okay, then okay. Will you be ready by 6:45?
Yeah.
Okay. Hello everyone. So I'll just be doing a short survey today with you all. I'll do it one by one. So who would like to start? Anyone can answer first. Okay, Saloni. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yes. enjoy playing sports? Do you want to play sports more often? Okay. Do you have enough opportunities to play sports?
No.
Have you noticed any change in yourself after playing sports?
Feeling very energetic and like after playing sports, I feel I do something to like work out.
Do sports help in making new friends? And if yes, how? Do you think when you play sports, you can make new friends through it?
Yes, we are playing if we do sports, so we like enjoying with friends. So it's very happy to go with and play. Otherwise, alone, this is not possible.
Do you learn to work in a team when you play sports?
Yes.
Have you ever shown leadership, like leading a team or helping someone else during a game? If yes, how?
Yes, so giving our like sharing our ideas and how we like making strategy. This is also part of it.
Do sports help you be more responsible? Do you use what you learned in sports in real life? If yes, how?
So basically, in my school time, the last I spent, but after that I didn't go with.
Okay. Do you feel more confident after playing sports?
Yes. इतने जल्दी बर्फ हो जाती
Do sports teach you how to handle winning and losing?
है उसने तो ऐसा नहीं था थोड़ा पैसे ज्यादा जाता है ना तो in my school I play football. The first round I win, but the second round I was unable to win. So I realized like every playing or participating teach us something new. So not uh, every time winning is not compulsory to do. Many
Okay.
sports teach new things every day. Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Now, who else would like to answer? Anyone wants to volunteer? Okay. Akshaj, are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. I'm putting this link to the survey in the chat. Whenever anyone gets time, can you please fill it? It's in the chat. Okay, Akshat, you can share screen.
Hello guys, I'm Akshat. I'm currently in the 12th grade in Hyderabad. I'm here to teach you about how engineers actually how they approach a problem and how STEM can be used to solve real world problems. Now, it all starts with the first step, which is identifying the problem or looking for a problem. Can anyone tell me what sorts of problems they face in their daily lives? It can be anything at school or when you're going to school. Even the tiniest thing can be a design opportunity. No one? Okay. So I'll give you some examples. Heat in classrooms. Obviously, classrooms are sometimes really hot, and school bags are also very heavy. And when you're going to school, the roads are usually there's a lot of traffic on the roads, and learning is currently really boring because of the way they teach it. How does this affect your day? Obviously, it will ruin your mood and not make you want to go to school anymore, right? Now, these problems are not just problems. From these problems, we can actually try to find solutions and start thinking like an engineer. So there's three steps to that. First step is actually finding the problem, which we already did, like heavy school bags or heat in classrooms. And then the next step is breaking down the problem. We find what reasons are causing the problem or what is actually making the problem spread. And the final step is actually finding a solution to the problem, but it doesn't have to be a solution that will fix everything. It can just make some small changes, which eventually will help fix the entire problem. Now, let's say heavy school bags, right? What the actual problem is that students will get tired and it might even damage your shoulders and your back, right? And that's the first step, identifying the problem. The second step was breaking it down, right? Breaking it down meaning why school bags are actually heavy. School bags are heavy because obviously there's too many books because of the water bottle you carry. The third step will be finding a solution to that problem. It doesn't have to be a full solution, like I said. It can be a small solution, like there's too many books, right? Let's say two people need two of the same books. One of you can carry one book and the other can carry the other one so that you won't have to carry two books every day and you can carry only one book. So shared bags can also help solve this problem. Also, the problem that heavy school bags are causing is stress on shoulders and uh, back, right? So maybe you can make a school bag that is not so stressful on the back, on your back and shoulders. And another problem is heat in classrooms. There, identifying the problem is done, and breaking it down is why classrooms are actually hot. It might be because there's direct sunlight through the windows, or there's no ventilation in the classroom. Solutions to this also could be covering the windows up or making sure that direct sunlight is not coming through the windows and there's more ventilation. Engineering, as most people think, is not just about studying and more studying, but engineering is actually thinking in a certain way and trying to solve the problems that people face in everyday life to make our lives more comfortable. Now, I want you guys to think of a problem that you guys are facing every day so that we can actually break it down here and try to find a solution. It doesn't have to be a very big problem, it can be a tiny problem also, but I want you guys to think a little bit. Okay. Is anyone going to come up with an idea, or can I move ahead? Okay. Uh, yeah, now nowadays people talk a lot about global warming, right? Can anyone tell me what that is? What global warming is? Yeah, Mansi, you can answer.
uh, somewhat like nature not nature like nature changing not as per the climate, not as per the uh, normal seasons it changes, but according to the uh, like destructions we are keep on doing, like cutting the trees and
Yeah.
building new areas. So like the way we are destruction, the way we are doing the way we are harming nature, how it is reflecting back to us.
Yeah, that only. Global warming is about that the change in nature, but global warming is specifically about the change in nature that is causing heat, causing the temperature to rise. So now you might be wondering, how does global warming and math interrelate to each other? And we're gonna explore that only. Now, as I just said, global warming is rise in temperature. Now, that was the problem. Again, we're doing engineering thinking, right? That was the problem. Now we have to break it down. Why are cities heating up, or why is the temperature going up? So now cities have a lot of buildings, right? And the buildings are made up of concrete and cement. This concrete and also the roads are made up of asphalt, right? Concrete and asphalt, they absorb heat and they retain it. If they didn't retain it, the temperature would be fine, but they retain it, so temperature increases. And in cities, to build buildings, obviously we have to cut down a lot of trees, and trees cause cooling effect, right? But if we cut down the trees, the cooling effect will not be there. So because of that, also temperature rises. And obviously, if there's more people living in an area, more energy will be used, more chimneys will be there. So there will be more heat in that area. Now, after we just discussed the reasons as to why cities are hotter, can anyone tell me why cities are hotter than villages? Yeah, you can go, Mansi.
Because villages have more trees than cities.
Yeah, that's the reason, correct. Like Mansi just said, villages have more trees, so there's more of a cooling effect that trees provide. But also there are lesser buildings in villages, obviously, so heat retention because of the concrete is not there. And villages are normally less people live in villages, right? So the same reason that make cities hotter also can be used to explain why cities are hotter than villages. These are just some statistics. Cities are normally 5 degree hotter than villages. And dark tarmac. What tarmac is the footpaths are there, right? The material that are used to make the footpath is called tarmac. That also absorbs 90% of sunlight and retains it. So that also causes heating, which this tarmac is not really used in villages, right? So cities will obviously feel hotter. Now, this is where the math comes in solving global warming. Uh, Now we talked about how buildings retain heat, right? And if there are more buildings close to each other, they will retain more heat, obviously. So using math, we can conclude how many buildings have to be uh, built and how space they have to be to reduce the heat retention. So for that, we can use math. And if sunlight hits a building directly, obviously the building will heat up, right? So if we design buildings using geometry and angles such that the sunlight is not directly hitting the buildings, then there will be less heat retention by the building. And also, now that we've uh, given some space between the buildings, we can use that space to effectively plant trees. So there also cooling effect is observed because of the trees, and that also sort of solves global warming. Yeah, these are some ideas to reduce global warming, and they're not really complex equations or really complicated stuff. They're just simple ideas that even we could have thought of in just a couple of minutes. So even with small ideas, you can make a really big impact because global warming is a big thing, right? So if a lot of people are implementing these ideas, global warming can be solved almost. Now, technology. We all know what technology is, right? Obviously, we're using it to attend this session right now.
Yes.
Technology is, I'm sorry, was someone saying something? No? Okay. So technology is usually the final product when it comes to engineering thinking is and that is what is the actual solution to the process of thinking, of engineering thinking. And I'd like to ask you all a question. We all have phones, right? Uh, that is also a solution to a problem because now phones are making things really convenient to us. Can anyone tell me recently when they've used their phone to search up something or look for an answer or something like that? Yeah, Jasmine, you can answer.
So I have to fill the Mumbai University form. So I have searched how to fill it and what is the process and what document will need it. That
Yeah, exactly. So your phone helped you in some sort of way, right?
yes, please.
Yeah, that is how technology can help us solve our everyday problems, no matter how small they are. Now we were talking about how technology solves problems, right? There are more examples to how technology can solve everyday problems. Weather apps can be used to weather apps that detect heat waves. They can be used to warn people beforehand, so there's less of an effect. And Google Maps, we've all used it at least once, right? Even if you're lost in some random place, we can just use Google Maps and find our way back home. And at school, some of you might be facing some problems keeping up with the pace of the teacher. For that, we have AI, and AI can keep pace with the student and actually make sure that the student is understanding. And we all know what Fitbits are, right? They're also a part of technology only. Yeah, this is also another example of how technology can be used to make solutions to real world problems. The heat waves example we already did, and tracking systems for safety. This is also a part of navigation. And this is an activity I need you guys to do now or after the session. I need you guys to actually think of any problem and think of an app or a product that you could make, even if it is very audacious or very overextending. But you guys have to think of a problem and think of any app. Even if you can't make it right now, just think of it such that the problem is solved. Does anyone have any ideas? I'll give you guys a minute to think. It can be any problem, but we need to find a solution to it. Like what? Okay, there are some examples on the next slide too, so you guys can think over those. Here are some examples. So you guys have to think over how you can create an app or a product to solve these problems or to make some solutions to problems like these. And yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Does anyone have any questions?
No.
Okay, if no one has any questions, then we'll end the session here today. Thank you, Akshaj. Thank you, everyone. So we'll see everyone in the next session. Thank
Thank you,
you.
ma'am. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Ma'am, also, do I have to send the presentation to you?
Yeah, can you send it to me on WhatsApp? The link.
I don't.
Should
It's
I
a
give you my email? I'll just send it to you.
Yeah. If you give me your email, I'll have to send it in PPT form. I don't really have a link for this.
Okay, no problem.
Ma'am, your email?
Oh, I've sent it on your WhatsApp. Admin@tribesforgood.
WhatsApp. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.